alright, y'all, it's Pod.cannion. I am back with another reaction video. Today, we have a Jalopy Bungus. I don't really know how to say your YouTube name, but the science of MF Doom's strange ways. The reason I'm hype about this is because if y'all remember, I think like 2 months ago, I was like, nobody did a video even trying to analyze Strange Ways by MF Doom. So I felt like I had to make a video. Now, this is pretty much, I don't know the angle he's going to take at this, but I'm just hype that, you know what I'm saying, hip-hop mediums are talking about MF Doom's work beyond just his top 3 songs, because I really do feel like, especially with this song, he opens up conversations that are, I don't want to say ahead of its time, but ahead of the mass awareness's time, if you know what I mean. Because it's still happening to this day if you look at it from a certain lens. So I'm not going to have my interpretation too much. I'm going to see what he's talking about. This is the science, MF Doom's strange ways. So this could either be him talking about, like, that could be a double entendre within itself. So I feel like this man's about to be cooking, but we're about to see. If y'all like the video, like it, subscribe if you're new. All we do is chill over here. With that being said, let's get into the video.
This video is about to get very surgical. I want y'all to think about something for a second, okay? Think about Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Skip Bayless, the way they cover sports. It's all detailed. There's advanced analytics to show you how nice somebody is on the court or in the field or in the diamond, right? They got all these different things to show you how busy these guys get. Why don't we have that in hip-hop? When you start talking about elite level lyricists, we're talking about people who are transcending writing. Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
And that's why I feel like with certain songs, I feel like I have to break it down for y'all. Like, I feel like if I'm correct, no song that I've broken down has been over really 2 minutes. But the amount that they pack in that minute and a half, the amount of interpretations you can get, it's not on accident. That is actual skill. That is a different level of lyricism, and I feel like it should have its, you know what I'm saying, it should have a light be shined on it, because it's a lot of things where you can listen to that song 10,000 times and still not get the deepest meaning that they're trying to convey. And I feel like that is the craziest thing about music and lyricism, is y'all could be hearing the same thing but get it, you know what I'm saying, it depends on how much you understand the shit. That's why you'll listen to certain songs and you'll have a different perspective later. It's the same thing with lyricism. Once you have a certain, man,
we're talking about people who are advancing the art form by showing different levels, getting into different pockets, referencing things in ways people never thought of. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because of that, we got this new series called The Science.
Not so much a riddle, at least rhyme to the syllable. I keep tracks to make an A-rap beat clap. With no hands, I chop these roads off truly yours. G-rap, actual fact, relax.
And we kicking this thing off with MF Doom's Strange Ways. Now, the reason why I picked this song is because I think it's extremely relevant to what is going on today. Now, the advanced analytic we're going to use is VPB, which stands for value per bar. Now, if you be on my...
That's a good way of measuring. That's a good way of, like, trying to grasp, like, how much people can, like... I always say, like, entendres, but it's not even really entendres. VPB is a good measure, a value per bar.
With streams, y'all have already heard me use this term. And basically what it is within your 16, 24, however long your verse is, how many of those bars provided value to the listener? In order for y'all to understand how this advanced analytic is going to work, I got to explain to y'all how a certain advanced analytic works in the NBA. So this is the NBA true shooting percentage, and it measures scoring efficiency by combining 2-pointers, 3-pointers, and free throws into one statistic, showing points per shot attempt with elite players often above 60%. So notice it's saying points per shot attempt. And league averages around 55 to 57%, calculated by total points divided by 2 field goal attempts plus 0.44 free throw attempts. It's a superior metric to standard shooting percentage as it weights different shots appropriately, reflecting of players' overall scoring ability. So instead of 2-pointers, 3-pointers, and free throws being separate, they put them all in one statistic. And this is a mathematical equation for how they come up with these percentages. VPB is a little different, right? Yeah. True shooting percentage is based off the 3s, the 2s, and the free throws.
Right.
Well, VPB is based off of reacting, reflecting, or rewinding. So if a bar makes you reflect, if a bar makes you rewind, or if a bar makes you react, this is how you're scoring in your value per bar advanced analytics. The very first verse we're going to use is MF Doom's second verse on Strange Ways. Now remember, reflect,
second verse is where
react, rewind.
The second verse, like, the first verse, he's setting stuff up more than anything. Like, it still gets deep, but the second verse is where he builds off of what the first verse has, and it really makes it that much more deep, that much more surgical. The first verse is important, and it makes the second verse hit that much harder. That's all I'll have to say about that.
So while you listening to this verse, I got a little edit for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'll listen to it too. But while you listening to this verse, I want y'all to keep those 3 things to mind and try to put a score together yourself, all right? Check this out.
They pray 4 times a day, they pray 5. Who ways is strange when it's time to survive? Some will go of their own free will to die. Others take them with you when they blow sky high. What's the difference? All you get is lost children while the bosses sit up behind the desk and cost billions to blast humans in half into caps and arms. Only one side is allowed to have bombs. It's like making a soldier drop his weapon, shooting them and telling them to get to stepping. Obviously, they came to portion of his fortune. Sounds to me like that old robbery extortion.
The same game. You can't reform them.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You.
Oh my god.
Just you.
Oh my god.
You.
Like,
Just you.
Even
Building
like,
rap.
y'all, those are the type of
On
pictures
base
that be
44.
popping up in my head when
Now
I
that we've
play
heard
this.
the-
Like,
Oh my god.
that's I'm not gonna lie, that's a 95 overall. Like, I'm trying not to glaze, but it's like, he made that in 2003. We're in 2006, and that's still a relevant verse to this day. To this day. And it's like, oh my gosh. That is crazy. It's just still so hard for me to like put into words.
Verse. Let's break down the verse and then do the math to come up with our final VPB percentage. They pray 4 times a day, they pray 5. Who ways are strange when it's time to survive? Some will go of their own free will to die. Others take them with you when they blow sky.
Oh yeah, and I did a whole breakdown of the whole lyrics, so y'all already know how I interpret the song and everything like that. So a lot of the stuff you're gonna see me like echoing, because like, yeah, like if I say I believe that too, y'all can check the video to see if I'm like, you know what I'm saying, trying to act like I didn't already know this stuff. So just in case, I have a whole
now,
video.
All 4 of
breaking
these
this down.
bars meet the criteria of reflection, and that is your best friend in VPB. How much can you make somebody reflect or think with your bars?
Yeah.
And he's talking about a lot of deep stuff right there, bro.
Yeah.
We talking about religion. We talk about the differences in religion and how that creates differences in the everyday civilian. And not only that, how it's used to justify wars, how it's used to justify dominating people, eliminating people, removing entire regimes based on these ideologies that are tied to religion. When he says stuff like, who ways are strange when it's time to survive? Who ways are we discrediting, pointing at when it's time to decide what we're gonna do in this time of war, right? Some will go of their own free will to die. Others take them with you when they blow sky high. This is showing how there are differences in these religions, but not really. Because on one side, you're going to have people who are willing to go to their own death. Like when you talk about the persecution of Christians and how maintaining that faith in God and Jesus or whatever all the way to your persecution is a sign of honor, right? That's one thing. But on the other side, on the side of honor, they view it as me taking myself out and taking you with me is a sign of honor. And that's really a lot of the small differences when it comes to these religions. But all of these codes of honor or whatever are typically used to push the agenda of somebody above these people. As of right now, out of 12 bars, 4 bars have made me reflect, 2 bars have made me react. What's the difference? All you get is lost children while the bosses sit up behind the desk and cost billions to blast humans in half into calves and arms. Only one side is allowed to have bombs. Still, all of these bars are meeting the requirements for reflection. When he talks about what's the difference between these religions and their ideologies, when at the end of the day, all you're going to get is children that die over these disagreements.
And another layer you can add with that, because that verse is a lot. Like he's definitely scratching the surface, but that verse is a lot deeper. So like when you think of also just recruiting in the army, right? Like he said, on one side, you know what I'm saying, you serving your country, that's your own free will. And then on the other side, they are going to take you with them. And on both sides, he said, it's seen as honor. And it's always about how the person frames it. You know, I already said this in the last thing, but people will always find different ways to try to find justification for hating, dismissing, diminishing, oppressing, whatever type of word you want to use. Whatever type of word you want to use, they use these as justifications. Look at how weird that is. Look at how strange that is. They're obviously not like us. No, pun not intended. Pun not intended, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's any justification needed. And when he says, what's the difference? Like, it doesn't matter who we vilify. At the end of the day, like he said, we are still going to... The more that we fight amongst each other and not the people actively taking money from us, it doesn't make no difference to these people up in power. They just need to keep us distracted enough to continuously take money out of our pockets and this, that, and the third. But I had this video, but it didn't say. I was pretty much like doing like a Fred Hampton video. The reason the government feared Fred Hampton so much is because he was thinking of solutions that are still happening today back before the 70s even came around, and he was 21 years old. He had both the Black Panther Party, a white nationalist group, a Latino American group, and he was about to get another radical group. Like, he was getting all these other radical groups that are together, and he was actually about to have people unite. And this is public knowledge. Like, this ain't no conspiracy theory. These are FBI records. They tracked Fred Hampton just like they did Malcolm X, just like they did Martin Luther King. It's interesting how the FBI always seems to target someone who's trying to bring people together. It's iffy with Malcolm X because he had a little his trajectory and the way he thought about things was consistently changing. one of the best books I've ever read to this day still is probably his autobiography. But even still, it's like, to wrap it all up, it's all about your framing of it. And June was really one of the first people who like packed so much into such a simplistic bar. But we
for reflection, when he talks about what's the difference between these religions and their ideologies, when at the end of the day, all you're going to get is children that die over these disagreements. While the people who are sending these people out to go do these orders are sitting up behind these desks, throwing money out there in order to push their empires.
Yep.
And this don't just apply, even if we apply this to our country, it's the same thing. Yeah. And I'm not saying don't vote. I'm not saying you're your own person.
That's what I'm saying. See how he just changed the framing of it and it still worked? First, he was looking at it from the view of religion, and then he changed it. And this is the main view that I look at it with our country. He changed the framing of it, and all the bars still make sense. Whether you're talking about religion, whether you're just talking about this country, whether you're talking about just the people in power outside of our country, really, because there are a lot of, oh my goodness, like, y'all just don't, I hope y'all understand when I say, like, how you view it, the framing of it, like, that's really what makes it hit. I'm not going to lie.
They're empires. And this don't just apply, even if we apply this to our country, it's the same thing. And I'm not saying don't vote. I'm not saying you're your own person, okay? Your own person.
Obviously.
But what I'm saying is, even when you look at the Democrats and the Republicans, it don't matter who's in office. There's a whole regime or whatever of people out there paying the price for whoever gets in office. It don't matter who it is. And from that perspective, what is the difference? At the end of the day, it costs billions to blast humans in half in the calves and arms, and only one side is allowed to have bombs. As of right now, out of 12 bars, 8 bars have made me reflect, 3 bars have made me react. It's like making a soldier drop his weapon, shooting them, and telling them to get to stepping. Obviously, they came to portion up his fortune. Sounds to me like that old robbery extortion.
Y'all, this is 12 bars. He didn't even spit a full 16. This is 12 bars. And like, oh my gosh. Y'all just don't understand. I could go on and on. Like, just with this section right here. And that's like the craziest thing about it. Like, he was
now all 4 of these bars meet the criteria for reflection too. And the crazy thing is, this song came out in 2004, but it applies to every single presidency since 2004. George Bush, Obama, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, every single presidency. Obviously, they came to portion up his fortune. Sounds to me like the old robbery extortion. You can literally apply that to Venezuela right now.
Literally.
What we just did in Venezuela, you can apply that to Venezuela right now. We pulled up, took their president.
Yeah, he said it, so I could say it. Like, I've been, once again, you can go back. You can go back. I know I've mentioned it. Venezuela has the most oil out of any country in the world right now. There are videos of Donald Trump talking about, oh, how much he wants Venezuela. Oh, that oil. Oh, that oil. Why did you think he wasn't going to take it? And it's like, until this stuff starts happening, y'all are not going to believe me. I'm going to just be having to say I told you so, I guess. But it's like, yeah. Oh, goodness. We're just going to leave it right there. I'm not going to fall off the deep end, but yeah.
Brought him over here, and it was for oil.
For oil?
It was for oil. And I know there's a lot more to it, but oil.
Yeah.
Oil. That's something we've been hearing since how long? Since I've been alive, I've been hearing about our presidents going to these countries to steal oil, or to stop them from building currencies, or to stop them from becoming independent of the dollar.
Oh, man.
And it didn't matter if it was a dude wearing blue and sounding all nice, or if it was a Republican being brash. It didn't matter. Regardless, we are still doing this to everybody. And the fact that this applies today,
you know,
we got that reggaeton. Today we're gonna be making beats. You guys said
what I be saying.
it should tell you something. And we got to do the math. And what we're gonna do is use the true shooting calculator in order to do this math. And clearly, this is VPB. So reflection is gonna get you the most points. So every time you make somebody reflect, that's 3 points. In that case, MF Doom put up a generational verse because the entire verse made you reflect.
Yeah.
So there's 12 lines in the verse.
12
He made us reflect 12 times. So 12 times 3 will be 36. Now, reaction is going to be 2 points. Now, some people might be saying reaction should be more, but think about it. When you at a game or a basketball game and somebody windmill dunk, and the crowd go crazy, it's still only 2 points. So that's what we're going to do for reaction. And he made us react 4 times. So 4 times 2 is 8. We didn't do rewind, which would be free throws, because I've listened to the song 100 million times, so that's going to be 0. So right now, we're looking at 36 plus 8, which is 44. Okay? Now, enter field goal attempts, which is how many lines are in the song or in the verse. That would be 12. We already know we don't got no free throws because we didn't rewind. Now, what is MF Doom's overall VPB in this verse? Let's check it out. Oh, hold on. 0. 183.33. Now, this obviously ain't going to look just like the NBA because this is rap, boom, boom. But based off this, that's got to be high as hell. 183.33 has got to be crazy high. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that the whole verse made us reflect. We are going to reward reflection because really that's what hip-hop should be about. Yeah. So we're looking at 183.33. Hey, I appreciate y'all for watching. For anybody who stayed to the end, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, we're going to really take this to another level too. This ain't how it's going to be every time we do this.
That was still a W video, man. I appreciate the fact that you brought light to such a track that, like, unless you're like in hip hop, it's definitely going to be overlooked. And it's like, that's great. That's great that it's getting the recognition that it deserves. Because for years, since I've like heard this track, and like especially after like I've learned more and more stuff, like this track has always applied to America since he dropped it. And that's over 2 decades ago. R.I.P. MF Doom, he's no longer here, but he is still telling the story of America to this day. And that junk's crazy. Yeah, if y'all like the video, like it. Subscribe if you're new. All we do is chill over here. With that being said, y'all be great. Be safe. Keep getting to that bag. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Peace.